Yo, what is up, y'all? It's Sean, and today we're talking about Netlify. Listen, it is one of those platforms that a lot of people use without really even thinking about it. Listen, you've probably visited dozens of websites hosted on Netlify without even realizing it. So that is kind of the point. It is designed to be invisible when it's working well. Listen, at a high level, Netlify is a platform for building, deploying, and hosting modern websites. It is especially popular for front-end projects, like static sites, web apps, built with frameworks like React, Next.js, for example, Astro, all that. Listen, the main idea is that you connect your code and Netlify handles the rest. Listen, what it does really well is simply the process of getting a website live. Listen, you push code to a repository and Netlify automatically builds and deploys your site. Listen, there is no manual server setup, no FTP uploads, and no complicated configuration just to get started. Listen, but yeah, before we dive really deep into this project, I also want to point out a really important thing. Listen, if you've got a business of your own and you want to be spotlighted on this channel, listen, hit me up, DM me, email me, and we can make that happen. But yeah, what Netlify does really well is simplifying the process of getting a website live. Listen, one of Netlify's core ideas is the concept of continuous deployment. Listen, every time you make a change to your code, Netlify rebuilds your site and deploys a new version automatically. So listen, this makes it much easier to move in your workflow without worrying, about breaking production or in overalls. It also shines the most when it comes to, developer experience. I mean, the dashboard is clean, as you can see. The documentation is clear, and most things work the way you expect them to. Listen, you don't need to be an infrastructure expert, to use it effectively. That's what I love about it the most, and that is a big reason, why it became, so popular, in the front-end community. Listen, another major feature is its global CDN. I mean, your site, like I said, is automatically served from locations close to users, around the world. So that improves performance without extra setup. And for most projects, let me tell you, this means fast load times out of the box. Listen, it also introduces serverless functions early on. So, it is allowing developers to add backend logic without really managing servers. I mean, you can handle form submissions, authentication, or small API endpoints directly inside your project. I mean, it is not meant to replace a full backend, but for many use cases, it is more than enough, let me tell you. Also, forms are another practical feature. I mean, you can collect form submissions without even writing backend code, which is especially useful for marketing sites, landing pages, small business websites, stuff like that. Again, it is all about reducing friction. But yeah, let's be realistic about it for a moment. And Netlify's role, listen, Netlify is best suited for front-end heavy projects. I mean, it is not a full backend platform, and it's not designed for complex databases, or some heavy, server-side logic. Listen, for those cases, it is usually paired up with other tools. And as projects scale, pricing is something teams need to pay attention to. I mean, Netlify's free tier is great for small sites and experiments, but bandwidth, builds, and advanced features can actually add up over time, which is pretty obvious. It is not a deal breaker, just something to be aware of. Listen, what Netlify represents more than anything is a shift in how websites are built and deployed. Listen, instead of managing servers and infrastructure, developers can focus on the content and experience. Listen, platforms like Netlify exist to remove unnecessary complexity. So listen, in 2026, Netlify is still widely used because it does its job reliably. Listen, it is not the newest or flashiest platform, but it is really stable, let me tell you. Well supported and trusted by a large ecosystem of developers and businesses. And I'm telling you that this is a great choice, especially for some front-end developers, designers, startups, and some small teams building modern websites. Listen, it is especially strong for marketing sites, documentation, portfolios, and content-driven projects. Listen, in overall, Netlify, let me tell you, is a solid dependable platform, that simplifies deployment, and hosting for modern web projects. Listen, it doesn't try to do everything. It just makes building and shipping websites easier. And yeah, that'll be it from today's video. Listen, if you enjoyed it, consider leaving a like under this video. Really helps me out a lot. Also subscribe to my channel, as it really helps me out, to keep coming back with those projects that you guys listen. And yeah, this is really important. Just like I said at the beginning, if you've got a business of your own and you want to be featured on this channel, hit me up, DM me, like I said, and we can make that happen. Listen, see you guys in the next one, and peace.